Hold please. 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 Brown Girl Bella. Here we are. Hi, babes. Welcome back to Brown Girl Bella, where we bring you luxury with a little laughter and beauty with a little banter. Today is my Bella After Dark, where we throw everything out the window and we go in on these celebrities. We go in on whatever is popping in pop culture. And also, sometimes we go in on some of the things that people are doing to themselves. So I'm actually going to kick it off there because we started this program talking about vampire facials and other things that, and I told y'all, don't be getting on these bandwagons and don't be getting into these fads. So we're going to talk about that first. But then, as you all know, I like to do my research on here. I like to see what's popping in pop culture. And there are several things that are popping, several things that are popping off. So we're going to get to all of that. First, I want to say hello to the beautiful Jackie. Hello, Jackie. As well as my cloud cuties who are in the clouds. Hello. Some people come in a little late, so I'm just going to get that out the way and say hello to everybody already. But wanted to start off talking about these vampire facials. So let me pull up some information that I found about it so that we can talk about what is going on. So first, to kind of ground us in what this is, it's actually called a PRP facial treatment. So it is an extremely popular, when it was first launched a few years ago, as an extremely popular anti-aging treatment. It is called PRP because you're using platelet-rich plasma, so your body's own platelets, to rejuvenate and promote collagen production, trigger growth factors, all of these different things. So it is performed on either aging or damaged skin, and it pairs microneedling, which we'll talk about too in a moment, with a plasma serum using your own body as that serum to leave your skin looking younger, smoother, healthier, all that good stuff. So what it does is it involves extracting a small amount of your blood, right? And then processing it to enrich the plasma with platelets. So those platelets are going to be then injected back into your skin, which the platelets are rich in growth factors that stimulate cell turnover, collagen production, tissue rejuvenation or regeneration, all of that. It can reduce fine lines and wrinkles. It can help with treating scars, including acne scars. It can improve your overall skin texture and tone. And it can also help with hair loss treatments. So people were using this, in their hair. And I think people, to a certain extent, still use this as a hair growth stimulant. But again, you're using your own natural elements from your own body, and it targets deep layers of the skin for long-term rejuvenation. Again, this is not for the faint of heart because it does involve needles and blood, which might not be suitable for you if you're a little squeamish or you're a little, intolerant about blood, because there's a lot of blood involved. And the results can take some time to manifest as the skin needs that time to regenerate, right? You can also use intense pulsating lights or IPL, which are also treatments, but it uses broad spectrum light to target the various skin types. And then that light energy is absorbed by the skin's components, such as melanin or blood vessels, and converted into heat, which also targets damaged target cells and helps to rejuvenate your skin. That is best for damaging sunspots, age spots, hyperpigmentation. It also reduces the appearance of rosacea for my Caucasian cis, rosacea or broken capillaries on the skin. And it also helps tighten the skin. Again, this is a non-invasive process because it has minimum downtime, and it also has a quick treatment center. So the usual sessions take about 20 to 30 minutes for it to be finished from start to end. Hey, Lori. Yes. Plasma shots for hair growth. Yep. So I'm going to show you in a minute what the vampire facials look like. But let me talk about microneedling next, because that was the other thing that I talked about that is kind of similar to the vampire facials. So what microneedling is, it involves using a device that is equipped with small needles to create micro punctures into the skin. This process triggers the body's wound healing response, promoting collagen and cellular renewal. This is also good for enhancing skin's texture and firmness, reducing scars, including acne and surgical scars. It also minimizes pores and stretch marks and improves the elasticity and effectiveness of topical treatments. Now, again, this is good for all skin types, and it does enhance absorption of your skincare products. So people like to do microneedling and then add their serum afterwards, because when you make those micro punctures, it allows for the serum to go deeper into the skin. And it also helps to get all of that collagen to come forward after applying that serum. But there are cons to this too. It can lead to temporary redness, swelling, and irritation, and it does require multiple sessions for the best results. So I'm going to now share my screen, and I'm going to show you a picture of someone who we all know and know well, excuse me, who had gotten this surgery. So let me see if I can share my screen. Hi, Musisi. Yeah, wait till you see the picture. You don't like needles, so them kind of facials are a definite no for me. I'm going to show you. I actually have a micro needle, microdermabrasion needle, so I'll show you mine in a minute. Let me just see if I can share my screen. Yep, it is. You're right. But let me see. Here we go. All right, so, oh, it didn't share. Hold on, I gotta do it again. Yep. Hey, TT. Everybody say hello to my TT. She was feeling under the weather. So make sure you give her some love. Hey, Musisi. Saying hi to Mama Wendy. All right, let me share my screen now. All right, here she is. Oh, let me get rid of that. And let me try to get rid of this too. Okay, so here's Miss Kim Kardashian. Now she got this. Let me look and see when this was. 2000. She got this in 24. I thought she got this earlier than that. Anywho, this is what she did. So this is the after of the vampire facial. So taking those platelets in her own body and then putting them back into the skin. Okay, also known as the platelet-rich plasma injection. Oh, she did in 2012. Okay, perfect. But she later said she would not do it again. I know she won't do it again because the Kim Kardashian inspired vampire facials were performed at unregulated clinics, and 3 women were infected in the United States. So they were infected with HIV because these so-called beauty clinics were performing these vampire facials, and they were given HIV. So, an investigation by the Center of Disease Control, also known as the CDC, concluded that these women likely contracted the virus because of poor infection control practices at this spa where they attended and had these procedures done. They may have contracted disease through the reuse of unsterilized equipment, such as needles or vials used to store the blood. The spa owner, her name was Maria Ramos de Jesus. She's 62. She pleaded guilty to 5 counts of felony practicing medicine without a license. So she wasn't even licensed to do this. And she gave 2 women HIV. So the UK, unlike other parts in the world, they don't have regulations on who can administer beauty treatments such as fillers, Botox, microneedling treatments, and PRP. So if you're going overseas, like to the UK, to get these procedures done, know that they are not trained, and they do not have to be trained on administering these beauty treatments. Okay. Beauticians will typically be trained with college level qualifications, but there's no requirement for them to be registered, right? Um, Patient safety advocates said that safety issues that were raised by the CDC about this New Mexico spa were all over the UK. They have heard about microneedling sharing, of not disposing improperly, using partially used fillers to use them for a second time. They had complaints about dogs wandering around the around the premises, and also that their bathrooms and things of that nature were not clean. Not clean. I'm gonna stop there for a second. Their bathrooms were not clean. What? 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 They further go on to say that anyone who wants to practice in the UK, they can practice aesthetics without training, without qualification. If you are a non-health professional and you are not qualified to even hold insurance for these treatments, they do not care. They will let you do it. Okay. So these people don't understand that when you are paying someone your hard earned coin, you need to make sure that these people are board certified, meaning they have gone through rigorous training in order to do these procedures. These people, 9 times out of 10, weren't even doctors. We're just saying that they were doctors, or saying that, hey, I'm going to pop up a medical spa tomorrow. It's going to be Brown Girl Bella's beauty spa. I won't, because I would never. But that's how easy it is, right? Currently, they are trying to step up efforts to try to regulate these non-surgical cosmetic procedures and treatments, but it's 2024, and this happened in 2012 that Kim Kardashian did it, and then these ladies did it a couple of years later. So all that to say, you've got to watch what you and who you are letting go into your face and touch your face and handle your face. Even when you go inside a beauty spa to get a facial, they should be opening up packages that have been sterilized, that you are the only person that uses these things, and that everything is above. They should be having gloves when they handle your face. All their equipment should be sterilized. The place should be pristine. Like you could literally lay on the floor, it's so clean. That's the level of cleanliness that you should require for going into these spas. I don't go into just any old spa, and if I do, I'm going to get something like a massage or something like that, where they're using either their hands, which also should be gloved, or they're using hot stones or something else. But I do not go into everybody's spa to get my face done, to get a facial. Never, never. Let me see what you guys are saying. Jackie said they don't regulate their beauty requirements, but they have requirements for their food. Help it make sense. Exactly, Jackie. And their food is nasty at the UK. I mean, I haven't been to London yet, but I've heard that the food is just not appetizing, by the way. FYI, by the way, I've heard that. But if you guys have tasted the UK food, let me know in the chat if y'all like it. Let me see what Lori said. Lori said, I recently got lip filler. I am, oh, she always says she is old. She's not old. I am old and my lips disappeared. There is no way I would see anyone but an experienced dermatologist for anything like that. Absolutely. Bravo, Lori. Bravo. Yeah, I mean, you research for that pair of handbags, or those shoes you want, or something else innocuous, but you don't research who's going to be handling your face. I don't understand how that is even happening in this day and age. All right, you think that is bizarre? Wait till you hear the next story, babes. So, this next story, I'm sad to say, but I predicted that this would happen. Soon as all of those AI things started coming out and people started, using that to enhance their photos and whatnot, I knew that this was going to happen. So now there is a procedure that surgeons are doing to have people bring in their AI generated photos so that they can look like the AI generated photos. So they're calling this alienized look. So this is a look that, I mean, babes, I have to stop and just clutch my pearls on this one, because as a woman of a particular age, I'm seasoned and all, you know. And when I saw these AI generated photos and things coming in, I played with it. I've had them, dress me up in different things and make a short out of it. Oh, harmful fun. But when I told you the story last week about the beauty pageants and how they're actually going to be doing, and I think it's either this month or next month, that they're actually going to be doing the world's first AI generated beauty pageant, where, let's say, Brown Girl Bella wants to do a AI model for makeup. I can mold her, create her how I want, and she would be the face of Brown Girl Bella. And she would, you know, do makeup for you guys. This is same what I'm doing right now, but she would be providing that, this person. So people make these things to do things like workout programs, cooking segments, all sorts of things. So now with this beauty pageant, they're allowing people to use these AIs as models for cash prizes. And I think I said it was up to like $15,000 in cash prizes that they were going to give away for the best AI generated model. I knew then that we were headed down a long, wrong road here, a very, very wrong road. And my fears were confirmed when, in doing the research about this vampire facial, which, thank goodness, they don't do it here in the US any longer. And hopefully they don't do it anymore across overseas either. But I kind of knew that we were going down a wrong road. So people are using these photos, these AI generated photos, to actually make themselves look this way in real life, walking around the streets. So plastic surgeons are speaking up. They're going on podcasts, they're going on social media about this normalization of well-known faces being distorted by extreme procedures, right? And you got to think about this in terms of, like, what message are we sending to our younger generations about the standard and the quality of beauty? There's no longer just growing old gracefully, or just using a little bit of face cream or serums or whatever to prolong the look and improve upon your skin and all of these different things. But for me, I have to say, everything in moderation, but this is not even in moderation. This is setting our children up for failure. The fact that they can't even look at themselves in the mirror and say to themselves, I am beautiful. My mom is beautiful. My grandmother is beautiful. My great grandmother was beautiful. We are fine just the way we are. We're fine. We're fine. We're exactly how God created us to be. But with this new influx of everything, and I talked about this, like I said last week, about how women are getting implants still, and they're still getting the fat transfers and all of these different things. You've got to understand what goes in has to come out in some way. What you are injecting into your body is going to fight it because it's a foreign substance. Even if you're using your own fat generated cells to move into another part of your body, let's say your butt or your hips or your thighs, to make those bigger, you're still putting in something that was not there before. Or it was, but not to the extent that you are injecting it. So your body's natural reaction to that is to fight it. And when they fight it, your cells, those cells that they put in, can move out. They can travel to another area. That's why you see all of these women now with these dough faces. They look like the Pillsbury Doughboy because they're injecting all of these fillers in. And when the fillers are in, yes, it's puffing up your face, but that stuff moves. So now you've got a puffy forehead. Now you got really, really puffy cheeks. Now your chin is all puffy. And now you want to get more surgery to correct the surgery that you just had or the procedures that you just had. So you want to get more procedures. And it's a vicious, vicious cycle. And it says to our younger generation that you are not good enough the way you currently are right now. You're not good enough. You need to be better. Your breasts need to be larger in order to get a large following. Your butt needs to be bigger in order to get a large following. Sorry, even to the point where some people are saying that my hair needs to be straighter in order to get a larger following. I had someone actually tell me that. Well, if you straighten your hair more and wear your hair, straight more, you'll probably get more people. Sadly, that may or may not be true. But here's the thing, I'll straighten my hair when I want to. I'll do those things when I want to, not because somebody told me that. The same with, getting these breast implants or getting fat fillers and all this stuff. And then these influencers say, oh, I'm working out. Oh, I tried a new diet. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing that. Same with these injectables, right? They're putting these injectables into their body that is supposed to be used for diabetics, right? Diabetes. But they found that a happenstance of some of these pills or some of these injectables are that you are losing weight. Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, yeah. I'd get more people if maybe my hair was straighter. It adds to the luxury. It doesn't feel luxury. I'm sorry. I bought a YSL lip balm. Oh, this is the new one, by the way, babes. And I put BGB on it. I got it monogram. This is my little something to myself for Mother's Day. So this is my little treat. But yeah, they actually did say that to me. But putting these injectables in and then saying, oh, I don't have the Wegovy or the whatever injectables. I'm just working out more. 2 years ago, you was working out and you ain't look nothing like this. So what changed from 2 years ago to today? I'll wait. So you're not even being truthful. Now, you know me, I'm a straight shooter, pow, pow, pow. I give it to you. I am borderline diabetic. I take Monjaro every week for some doggone dumb reason. I thought today was Friday, and I usually take my injectable on Friday. I digress. Sorry. I usually take the Monjaro on Fridays, right? All day today, I thought it was Friday, so I took it today. So I have to remind myself. I had to set it on the phone. Don't take it tomorrow because I'll be sick as a dog if I do. But I'm like, why did I take it today? Today's Thursday. I'm supposed to take it on Friday. So I took it a day early. But yeah, so they're doing this for weight loss. They're not even obese in some of these cases. And they are doing this. They are doing this. And you know who benefits from it all? The pharmaceutical companies, the plastic surgeons. They're all in this thing together. You cannot tell me different. Because as soon as these Ozempic faces started popping up, you started seeing people with these sullen, drawn out, hollowed eyed looks. I'm like, what is going on? And now they have to go to the plastic surgeon to correct that, right? Because they don't want to look like the Walking Dead. They just want to look slim. So you got to take the good with the bad. Either you want it for the weight loss, or you want to actually put in the work and do what it requires in order to lose the weight. But you can't have it both ways. You can't, get this shortcut and then don't want to put the work in. And baby, I'm preaching to the choir because, like I said, I am borderline diabetic. I do have to take Manjaro once a week, and I do have to watch what I eat. I do have to watch what I eat. So I'm doing it, hopefully, the healthy way, the natural way, the way that's going to be more beneficial to my life. Because I don't know about them, but I don't like taking needles, especially not every week. I don't want that life. I do not want that life. I want to get down to a weight that I can manage and sustain. And the thing about Ozempic is once you are on it, hey, Coconut Cutie, thanks for coming. It was happening for years and we didn't know. Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Coconut Cutie. Because I can remember looking at some people and like, what's going on? Why is she sick? That kitchen table talk or that water cooler talk. Is she sick? What's going on? Does she have cancer? Oh my God. Like whispering in the shadows, like, what's going on with her? And all along, they're taking this weight loss drug. Well, actually, the diabetes drug that has a happy happenstance of making you lose weight. Why can't I talk today? I'm just drinking water. What's going on with me? So that was just a nice benefit to it. Hey, Maritza. Hola. Hola. It is shocking. It is shocking. I feel like we are living in times now where just the status quo is not good enough. Just being on here and having something compelling to say on YouTube and having an opinion on things is not enough, right? You need to have something sensational. You need to have a hook, or you need to be angry, or you need to be combative with somebody, or you need to, talk about a controversial subject in order for people to receive you, right? In order for these people to go, you have to be almost sometimes on social media an absolute train wreck for people to be like, oh, let's watch and see how she implodes this week. Like, it's not enough that I sit here and I do the research and I come out with topics that I think you're going to like, and I think that my audience will gravitate to because it is talking about beauty. And then 780 of you show up. Now, I love all 780 of you that show up. I really do. I love it. I love y'all. I cook food. But if I were on here lambasting somebody or giving y'all the dirt, the tea on somebody, or calling these influencers out by name and talking bad about them, whatever, there'd be 7,000-8,000 people in here because people love to see a train wreck. They love to see drama unfold. It's like, good TV. Everybody's like this. Ooh, what's she gonna do? Da, da, da. And I've always made it my business that this channel was not going to be like that. This channel is about enlightening you with and empowering you with the knowledge about what is going on in this beauty industry and how these doctors and these plastic surgeons are all in cahoots to get your money, right? We were bottled down for almost 3 years with the epidemic, and people, lost their minds. People lost their jobs. People, had to find new ways in order to make money. And so the resurgence or the surge of different people becoming YouTube influencers was astronomical, right? There are celebrity YouTubers now. There are, people just popping up every day. People from like the housewives, they're now all have their YouTube channels. Like everybody has a YouTube channel now. So before, when you were just competing with everybody in your nucleus, right? Everybody that was a beauty content creator or a skincare creator, or even a luxury where I am, sitting in that luxury space. There are a lot of people in that space. But now it's even more crowded because now we have to deal with the other people who are now encroaching on this space. And with um, the news about Ozempics and the Monjaros and the Wegovy's and all of those things that now make you lose weight, people who were insecure about their weight are now taking it. People who, have body dysmorphia, who feel like you look at me and you see maybe a slender athletic person, and maybe that's true, but in their mind, when they're looking at themselves, they don't see themselves that way. They see themselves as morbidly obese. They see themselves as ugly. And so they have to continually do these things in order to make themselves more pleasing, not just to others, but to themselves, because they don't even see what they're doing to their bodies. And so, I say to people like, all of these, Kim Kardashians of the world and the Khloe Kardashians and all these people who have taken all of these shortcuts in order to look a certain way. At the end of the day, you have children now who are looking at you, and these children are not going to look like you look today when they are your age. You do realize that, right? Kim Kardashian's kids will not look like Kim Kardashian as she is now, because she's had so many enhancements to her face and her body. Her children are not going to look that way. So if I am North and I'm growing up with all of these different things and I'm seeing all these different images of my mom from back in the day to now, you have to wonder, like, what kind of message is that sending to this little girl, right? With her naturally curly, coily hair and, the body that, she's going to have when she's, a teenager or what have you. It's not going to look like her mom. And her mom is now a sex symbol, right? You look at Kim Kardashian, these men look at her and they think instantly sex. And so if you are that child, you're like, how am I going to look when I get her age? Knowing that she's had all these enhancements, how am I going to look? Am I going to need enhancement too? Am I going to have to go under the knife? Is she going to let her go under the knife to get these enhancements? I'm like, it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. Hey, Masisi said, hope it never. No, like so far, so good. I've been doing, knock on wood, doing very well on it, losing weight gradually, but I'm sticking to, drinking more water, just getting myself right mentally as well as physically, because that's the other thing too. You have to be in the right frame of mind in order to lose your weight. You have to be in the right frame of mind in order to get a plan so that you can follow it without deviation. Now, I'm not saying that, I don't dip into some cookies every now and then, or I don't dip into, some ice cream. I was just mad a few hours ago because I was like, oh, we don't have no more ice cream. But I like to indulge every now and then with something like that, but everything in moderation. But when you're looking at what's happening out here and you see all of these different things that are going on, and all of these children with all of the things, like everything is out in the open in this generation, right? They have access to everything. The internet can be a force for good or it can be a force for bad, honey. And I promise you, I'm so glad that we did not have it in my generation. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. And I love you too. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Um, I'm so glad that there was none of this in my generation because, first of all, I don't know where I'd be if some of the things that I did as a child was televised for the whole world to see and hold fodder for. It's just scary. Hey, Lizzie's World. Hey, babes. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, it's going to catch up with them because guess what? Gravity is not kind. Gravity is not kind. So this face before you, it's gonna look different in a couple of years. It's gonna change, but that's the nature of growing old. And yes, I try to, stop Father Time from messing with my money because I feel like this is my money. You come to me for skincare advice, for makeup advice. I got to bring you, a healthy face that's, blemish free. Ooh, that's another thing. Can we talk for a second, babes? Come closer. Come closer. Let me hold y'all for a second. So, some of the people that we watch, I've seen them, how, sometimes we come on before and, we haven't put on any makeup or whatever, but we're showing you the process. So I was watching someone, I'm not going to mention who because that's just unkind, but I was watching someone, babes. I was never more happy to see this person put on makeup than I was. I was like, what is happening with her face? What is happening with her face? It was sullen, like her eyes were deep set. She had dark, dark, dark under eye circles. And I know sometimes I'm like that too when I don't drink enough water and my skin is not hydrated enough, it'll show up right around my eyes. So I get it. But then the cheeks and the hyperpigmentation and severe hyperpigmentation. And I'm like, dump all that makeup aside. You need to start working on your skincare. Because what do I tell you, babes? If that foundation is not right, the house is going to fall. Okay. If your foundation, just like building a house, if your house does not have the proper foundation, it will fall. And the foundation for a flawless makeup application is not so much what you put on, but what you put in your mouth, what you put in your skin, treating your skin like it is a job. It is a job. You have to take off your makeup every night. You have to cleanse, you have to moisturize and tone your skin. And there's a lot of different steps to it. And I've actually pared down my steps. So look for the new Brown Girl Bella getting unready with me after dark session to come soon. I'm actually filming it this weekend. I'm so excited to show y'all, by the way, my nighttime routine. I show y'all, every now and then my daytime routine, but my nighttime routine is good. It's good. It's good, babes. It's real good. So here's the thing. Good black don't crack, but it can crumble. It can crumble if you don't treat it well, if you don't pour into it and treat your skin well, treat your body well, treat yourself well, it will show up. It will show up and it will show out and you will have issues. Because I definitely was looking at that face like it's a horror movie. Like, oh, babes. I was like, no. No, 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 no. Not good, not good. So what you put into your body and the ingredients that you put on your face, and they don't have to be expensive. They really don't. They really, really don't. I buy luxury because that's what I love. I've always loved luxury beauty. Always, always, always. Luxury beauty, luxury fashion, luxury handbags. I love it all. I love it all. Blame my parents because they were both show ponies. They love to show out. They love to have, the latest sneaker or the fancy suits in my father's cases and the fancy shoes. I remember vividly moving him one day, and he had 14. Those laundry bags with the wheels at the bottom. My father had 14 of them. I'm not joking because I counted them. 14 that just had his sneakers. And I was like, Daddy, how many shoes do you have? And he's like, oh, those are just all my sneakers. We got to bring up the other set that has my shoes. I said, well, I don't want to hear nothing anymore about me wanting a pair of shoes, or I don't want to hear a peep out of you about me wanting to get anything. Because if you rolling up here with 14 bags and that's just the sneakers, that's not even your shoes, don't tell me I got a problem, sir. Don't tell me. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, 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 no. I don't want to hear it. All right. Let's see. Anything else that I'm going to say about this plastic surgery? So, yeah, so people are actually I'm laughing, but it really is not funny. They're sending real board certified plastic surgeons photos of them with their face already altered. It's already altered by AI, right? Your nose is maybe a little contoured, your eyes are brighter, your skin looks brighter. All these things are like contoured, which, by the way, you can get naturally from taking photos and facing the sun and letting the sun hit you at a certain angle. It'll look the exact same way. Trust me, I know, because all those pictures that I posted, y'all be like, oh, that's beauty. Outside, outside, but the light. There you go. Mystery solved. You don't gotta have AI for it. You don't have to have AI for it. Just use the sun. Just use the sun. And if it's cloudy or if it's dark, use a ring light. Use a ring light. Does the same thing. You just have to be in front of the light source and let it hit you at a certain angle. You can try, different angles of your face and see what works for you. But that's it. You don't need to do AI. You don't need to pay all this money for all these different programs and stuff like that. Why? Why? Why waste your money? Sunlight is free. 99. It is free. A ring light will cost you next to nothing now. Now they have these little clip-ons you can put on your iPhone or your Android. Bam, you got sunlight right at your fingertips. There you go, right there. Yes, Coconut Cutie. It is essential. It is essential. So yes, babes, you heard it here first. Folks are bringing in AI generated photos to go on and get an AI generated facelift or face augmentation. What are they going to do after this phase is over? That's my thing, right? Because I'm always thinking ahead, like, all right, so when this fad is done and there's a next fad that comes in, what you gonna do then? You gonna get that fad? You gonna go get that done, whatever that is next? All right, getting off my soapbox on that. Let me know, of course, in the comment section if you have any thoughts, issues after this is all done. If you have any thoughts or questions, what have you. Now we're gonna get into the mess because, honey, it's messy. It is messy out here in these streets. These celebrities are doing too much. Too much.com.net. Too much. So here's the thing. Earlier this week, a leaked tape or a leaked audio, allegedly leaked. Let's say that. Allegedly leaked audio that allegedly contains Diddy and rapper Meek Mill in what can only be described as some sort of tryst gone awry, maybe? I'm not sure. But I'll let you listen to it and tell me your thoughts. So I don't even know how I could set this up. Suffice it to say, it's an interesting it's an interesting thing here. All right, so hang on a second. All right. Listen carefully. I'm sorry. I forgot to present it. Child, see, this is what happens. Okay. Oh, I don't need to share it. Sorry, I can do it this way. All right, I'm going to do it this way so it doesn't mess up the other stuff that I have going on. All right, listen carefully. Did y'all hear it? I'm going to play it again. Now, here's the thing. What you do, you can't hear it? Okay, I'm going to try it this way now. Hang on. Let's try it this way.
Yo, wait a minute. Wait. What? Yo.
Okay. Thank you, Godfrey, for that video. Can you hear it? Could you hear it then? I forgot to put this on. I forgot to put this on, but hopefully nobody is under the age of 18 that's here. Okay, you heard it? Okay. All right, so let me do a couple of housekeeping things. So one, this is alleged audio of Diddy and Meek Mill. Alleged. We don't know it's them. People are assuming it's them from the voices. Two, this is my opinion and mine alone. But what people do in the privacy of their bedrooms, if they are consenting adults, do you understand? I don't care. I don't want to know it. I don't care. It's your business. You do what you want to do. However, it did not sound to me like what was being done allegedly was enjoyable. And I'll say that. It didn't sound like it was a pleasurable experience. It sounded like torture almost. It sounded like a little torture. It sounded like the person was in pain. Um, and here's the thing. If they got consent to do this and that's what they wanted, fine, all for it. I didn't hear stop. I didn't hear no. I didn't hear I don't want this. So you have to kind of make the assumption that this was consensual, or at least in practice, it started off being consensual. But again, when we're dealing with these millennials and the impressionable minds and the lack of empathy towards other people, I have to say, again, this sets up the notion that everything is just up for whatever, right? Everything is just up for whatever. And that's not how I want my children, if I had children who are growing up now, that's not how I want them to grow up. That's not how I want them to perceive sex. It's not supposed to be painful. It's not supposed to be agonizing. It's not supposed to be recorded unless it was for your own intents and purposes. You know, what you're doing with whoever should not be, fodder for other people to pass judgment on, myself included. I did not want in on this group chat. I really did not. But you have been now invited me into the group chat with this thing. You have now invited us all in to speculate and make comments and thoughts and discussions about what goes on or what allegedly went on. And to that I say, clean up your act. Now, I don't care what you do in your bedroom with another consenting adult. I don't care. Me don't care, as my Jamaican line sister would say. Me don't care. Okay? And as my Panamanian grandmother would say, Jonathan, I don't want to know. I don't want to know nothing what goes on in your house. Don't want to know. That's what we say. But I gotta say, for all these people that are now picking apart Diddy's songs and picking apart everything that he did to kind of make it all make sense in their head, I gotta say, like, what are we doing as a generation? What are we doing? What is going on with us? That this is life now. This is life now. This is like that we have to hear an audio recording allegedly of Diddy and Meek Mill having sex. Allegedly. That's what we got to listen to now. That's what we got to have in our heads now. And it boggles my mind because my whole thing is you have lambasted so many people for doing the exact thing to you that you yourself have done to many people. Both of them. You know how many times I've heard these so-called macho men talk about, oh, this ninja takes it up the butt, and oh, this ninja's a F, and this ninja's this, and this ninja's that. You know how many times I've heard these things come out of mouths of men? And even in that clip that I showed you, you see the guys, they're like cringing. They're like, It's such a taboo. It's such oh, don't talk about that. Don't say nothing about that. It's sex. And if it were him with a woman, would they be cringing? No, they'd be bobbing and hey, all good. Da, 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 da. If she was sounding the exact same way, there would be applause, standing ovations, even. Oh, he really must have gave it to her good. Da, 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 da. But because it's a man, allegedly, it's taboo. It's nasty. It's something you gotta scrunch up your face and clutch your pearls on. How is it good in one case and not good in another case? It's still the same act, just with a different gender. It's the same act. So why even put it out there? Because it's a man. Ooh. You know how many centuries men have been having sex with men? For centuries. Okay? This is not new. This is not new thing. This is not a new discovery. Men have been doing this since the age of time. But now that you put it on the internet, now that it's a celebrity, now that it is, sensationalized, now you want to talk about it more. Now you want to have whole podcasts and all that. That's why I left it for a little segment of my show, because I don't want to sensationalize this. This is horrible to me because it doesn't sound like this was consensual. It doesn't sound to me like this was pleasurable. It sounded to me like somebody was getting pleasure, but not both of them. You know what I mean? So I really feel like unless you are an unfeeling person, an uncaring person, you have to feel some kind of way about what is going on in that audio. You have to feel some kind of way. So Jackie said they put stuff on the internet. Then when people start to comment, they become hostile. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You can't throw a rock and then hide your hand. You can't. You can't throw a rock and then hide your hand. Hi, Investing with Rod. You changed your channel name, Investing with Rod. Okay. Welcome in. Hi. So that is, hey, Beauty Boss. I just saw you pop up too. Hey, how are you? Welcome in. So that was Diddy and Meek Mill, allegedly, audio recording. And now here it is, Neo. And this ninja, you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh because if you don't laugh, you might want to throw a brick. You might want to throw a brick because here's the thing. This is a man that with his first fiance, Moneta, they had discussed her tying her tubes. And, this woman thought they were getting married. They're going to build a life together. They already had 2 kids. So she went ahead. Yes, got her tubes tied. Then he cheats on her with this woman named Crystal. He marries her. And now he has 2 babies for her. So now he's got 4 kids. Meanwhile, Moneta still has just the 2 because she got her tubes tied. But now she's married happily in her life with her 2 kids from Neo. But I digress. So then you're with Crystal for a few years. You had 2 kids. And then you cheat on her Because you know that old saying your grandmother tells you, right? The way you get them is the way you lose them. So you got him by cheating and having him cheat on his long-term girlfriend, fiance for you. Then you got him. He did the same thing to you. So this newest one, Sade, she has 2 kids from him. And I was like, well, hell, how does she have 2 kids? Like, wasn't he just with her like a short period of time? No, apparently not. Apparently, this ninja had both the wife and the mistress pregnant at the same damn time. You know what? You know what? Shady is not even a word. Oh, you just finished your live? Oh, I hope it was good. Rebranded Point Blank Finance. Okay, cool. Shady is not even the word. Shady is not even the word. So he had Crystal pregnant and this new chick, well, not that new because she got 2 kids from him, Sade, pregnant at the same time. But it gets better. It gets even better because then he left her, right? And then, oh, hold please, we got to reapply our new butter bomb by YSL. All the details from what I'm wearing will be in the description box below. So you get her pregnant and your wife pregnant at the same time. Then you leave her supposedly for some next stuff. But he's in the house. Now, I'm not sure if it was his house or her house or whose house it was, but he was with his children, allegedly. And she came over, I guess, to help with the kids or whatever, because he had the kids from Manetta and he had the kids, I think, from Crystal and her 2 kids. So he had all the kids. So she had come over, Sade, to kind of help him with the kids. And come to find out, he's in the house with some next chick having drug paraphernalia around, having liquor around with the young kids. The oldest, I think, are in their like teens or preteens from Manetta, but these are young children who could easily pick up something because she said he had mushrooms. They could have easily picked up drugs, eaten them by accident, or drank something by accident. That is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. So here you are, grown man who should know better, having this stuff around. And then the girl who comes in, Sade, is like, how do you do this with young children around? And so she starts going off. So I'm gonna play you a little bit of that, courtesy of who did this one? This one was done by Chronicle Speaks. Sorry. So this is by Chronicle Speaks. So she took an excerpt of, I guess, the live that she did. So I'm going to show you that. Hold, please.
Oh shit! Since we on live, let's go there. Let's start with the freak off. How we get there? Tell them about the freak off, Diddy Jr. Diddy Jr. Tell them about the freak off. Tell them about the fucking freak off. Tell them the truth. Tell these people the truth. Oh, shut the fuck up. You don't give a fuck about none of these kids. Do y'all see a fucking picture in his house of a fucking kid? He don't care about these kids. All he care about is doing drugs, drinking alcohol, and fucking these hoes. That's what you care about. So let's go.
Baby. Baby. She said a lot. She said a lot. I invite you to go and watch Chronicle Speaks because she has the whole thing on there. I was like, sir. And she started the live, and I didn't play this part, but she started the live off because I guess when she came over, he had like all this stuff around, and he said he was going to call the police on her. So he was actually, I guess, walking around with the phone or something like that. And she was like, call the police. I want them to come here. Call them. And then started with that whole Diddy Jr. Stuff. So allegedly he had drug paraphernalia, alcohol, and women in the house. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. First of all, if you have children by your significant other, because she at one point was your significant other when you lay down to have children with her, you're not babysitting these kids. You're not watching these kids. You are helping to raise these kids. I hope you are helping to raise these kids. I know my ex has said something to me to that effect, like, oh, I can't babysit the kids. I'm like, who are you babysitting? Who are you babysitting? Because first of all, these kids can babysit you. Okay, that's the first off. Then secondly, these are your kids. These are your children. These aren't your sister's kids. These aren't your neighbor's kids. These aren't kids that you do not know, that do not share your DNA. What are you talking about? You got to babysit. They're your kids. You don't babysit. You sit and you raise those kids. I can't. Yeah, I didn't even play you the whole thing, but yeah, she went in both barrels. Pow, 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 boom. She wasn't playing. He was bluffing. He wasn't about to call the cops with all that going on. I'm sure, because he would have to allegedly do a lot of cleaning, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. That part. You gonna babysit your own kids. I wish a ninja would. The way I laid my ex-husband out when he said it, I was like, no. These are your kids. You don't babysit, you sit and watch and raise, just like I have to do. Because if I've got to babysit them 99.9% of the time, the 1% you got, you better be the most attentive 1%er ever. You better be sitting there like Miss Seeley, like this, watching everything they do. Okay? 1%. Oh, whoo. Let me calm down, drink my water. So here's the other thing, babes. She called him Diddy Jr. And I had to laugh at that because I was like, well, from the alleged reports, he may well be on his way to being Diddy Jr. He may very well be on his way to being Diddy Jr. Ciao. Could you imagine? I could not imagine coming over and seeing that in my ex-husband's house. I would have went smooth off. So I get it. But again, how did we get invited to the group chat? Again, how were we invited to this group chat? Why are we here? That should be something between you and him. And that's it. Just like I reported last week about Jeannie Mai and Jeezy, and I was like, we was invited to this too, and we had no business. But herein lies the rub, though. In that case, she was stacking them receipts up. Now, some people were, I was reading the comments. Some people were saying, well, she might have got some of them things from rough sex and blah 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 blah. I was like, for the bruises that I saw on those pictures, that wasn't no rough sex. That was not, and if it was, I don't want no parts of it. That part of the sex, I can do without. The bruises that these photos depicted, I'm like, why? Why are we looking at this? How is that possible? How is it even possible that you had all of this, but yet you did not file for divorce? He filed? How, Sway? How? Is what I'd like to know. How is that even possible that you did not? The first time he bruised my body. What? And I bruise very, very easily. So I can never be, I can never have that because I bruise very, very easily. But my thing is, believe him when he did it the first time, sis. You ain't got but one time. You ain't got but one time. And then it's a wrap for you, Dunny. Deuces. It's a wrap. So how she managed to accumulate all of these photos and all of these different things, but yet he filed for divorce on her? You walking around our home with an AK-47 and he files for divorce? How is that life? How is that possible? And I can say not, I don't have to quantify it with an alleged, because we actually saw the picture of him walking around like he in Beirut or something. I'm like, are we going to war in the ATL? Is the Russians coming to get us in the ATL? Is that, do I have to call and make sure my grandson and my son is okay? Because Beirut coming through? Like, who does this? Who does this? Who does this? Yeah, they invited us in when they posted it up, and that's why they food for the fodder. That's why they on the Bella Coaster. Hello, and thank you very much. Because my thing is, if you gonna show it, I'm gonna read it and look at it. I'm gonna show read it. Hey, Chipping with Dre and Michelle. Hey, boos. Welcome in. Thank you for coming. Don't forget, y'all, hit that thumbs up, and then don't forget to share it, because sharing is caring. It is crazy, isn't it? I'm getting hot just thinking about it. Hold, please. Okay. I ain't brought this out in a minute, but gotta put it in there. Every now and then you gotta put it on them. Maya said it best: when a person shows you who they are, believe them. Yes! Yes! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not sorry. But if I am seeing a man, or if I am married to a man and he walking around my house with an AK-47, not a pistol, not a revolver, some that I can kind of understand. But whatever gun you have, but especially if you got an AK-47, why do you have this in a Louis duffel bag out in the open where your daughter, who is what, she's 2, I think, was trying to pick it up and carry it around the house? I'm sorry, what? What? My 2-year-old was carrying a Louis duffel bag with an AK-47 in it, and he files for divorce? Make it make sense. Make it make sense, y'all. because I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I don't see it at all. Bruising and all of this. We're not having that. We're not having that. No. That's not life. That is not life. So what do you say? So I don't know how this is gonna go with Jeezy and Jeannie. I think that whole thing about their courtship was dreamland, because she was saying before they got married how they used to have these long, deep philosophical conversations, and how they used to, just fall asleep on the phone with each other, just talking. And, the first date, like he gave her homework to do, and all of this stuff. And I was like, so if a man that I'm seeing invites me out on a date, and at the end of the date tells me he has some homework for me, guess what he won't be getting? A second date, because that's a red flag. That's a red flag. How you want to give me homework? I thought we was on a date. I didn't know I had to do a pop quiz. What the hell? What the hell? No. That is a form of control. That is a form of manipulation. That is a red flag. Red flag. And for you to continue with this man to the point that you laid down, had a baby from him, and then you allowed him to have an assault rifle. An assault rifle. First of all, I want to know how the hell you get an assault rifle in Atlanta. How is that possible? And you not be in jail for it? I don't get it. I don't. And I don't understand how you allowed that to happen with your child. Now, I don't wish ill on nobody. I really don't. But remember what I said about my grandmother, right? And the saying, how you get them is how you lose them. And you got him off some bull, manipulative, throw the rock and hide my hand kind of dude. And that's exactly what you got, baby. You got exactly what you was asking for. You wanted the dark meat. Oh, you got the dark meat, all right, and then some. And then some. Narcissistic at its highest. At its highest, Jackie. That is some craziness. And then even if you look at his interview with Nia Long, he was exhibiting signs then. There was one particular moment where she was saying something about letting the man be the man, or letting the man like lead the home or what have you. And he was like, oh, say that again. And she did. She said it again. And then he said something to the effect of, you have to allow the man to lead. You have to let the man lead. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm old fashioned, and we can certainly discuss this on another Bella After Dark. But a man does not need permission to lead if he's going to lead. He just does it because that's in his nature to do. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back who probably didn't catch that. Here it goes again. A man does not need permission to lead because it's already innately in him to do so. if that's what he wants to do. He doesn't need your permission to do it. He doesn't need you to co-sign it to do it. He just does it. He doesn't complain about it either. He just makes it happen. That's the mark of a good man, when you don't need him to lead you. He just naturally steps up to the position. It's not like you sending out applications for the job of my boyfriend and you stand up and you reading his resume and he says, oh, I was a leader here and I was a leader here and I showed a leadership experience here. No, you get in the job and you do what is required. Point blank in the period. And conversely, if you've got a good woman, she gonna do what she need to do. You don't have to ask her to do it. You don't need to cajole her to do it. She's just gonna naturally do it because that's what's innate in her to do. So when all these people talk about they have all of these different issues and strife and I can't make my man do this or I can't make my woman do that. No, you should not have to make them do it. And if you do, they're going to regret it or they're going to resent you for doing it. And it's not going to be what you want anyway. How about that too? It's not going to be what you want. Because eventually the facade that they put up, they cannot maintain it. So when you have this man that is putting on all of these different airs and you didn't catch all those red flags weeks and months ago when he was exhibiting those signs and dropping that mask every so often, you didn't catch it. So whose fault is that? It's yours. Because when he was showing up as his authentic self, you didn't want to believe that version because you wanted to believe the smoke and mirrors version. But you cannot sustain that smoke and mirrors version over the course of a relationship. Average relationships of what? A year and a half, 2 years? You can't maintain it for that long. Eventually, the facade is going to fall, right? And what is left is that real representative, that real person who forged all that stuff on that resume that you love so much, right? That part. Walking around with AK-47s and in duffel bags. And Freddie, her ex-husband, really loved her. She did him bad. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but he was definitely a man scorned. He was definitely a man scorned. I remember when he got with his now wife and they were having that child, he said he dodged a bullet leaving Jeannie. And I'm like, okay, probably wasn't the best wife, probably wasn't the best, match for you, Freddie. But here's the thing. Why are you kicking this woman down? You were with her for years. She bigged you up in every way possible. She had you come on to the show when she was on the reel, all of these different things. And this is how you play her at the end of the day. Like, you have to still be friends with somebody. There still has to be something left in that relationship, whether it's friendship or if you have children together. There has to be something that's still preserved, even if the marriage didn't last or the relationship didn't last or what have you. There still has to be something there. Or else, what were you in it for? Right? What were you in it for? And my thing with Freddie is, okay, great. You have this great relationship now. You have this great opportunity over here. And that's all well and good. So if she was such a hateful person, if she was such a mean-spirited person, if everything was bad, why you want her money? Because that's a part of her. She made that money, yes, when she was in a marriage with you, but she was already Jeannie Mai with a certain following when you came along. So why not just, all right, I'm gone, I'm leaving you. Go about your merry way and just live your life with your new girl. No, you got to take her money too. You got to have her pay you palimony too. That is some bull-ish. That's some bull-ish. And I say it on both sides. If a woman was with a man and he was a certain stature before they got together, he should leave with that and she should leave with what she has. And that's it. Take your jewelry or whatever you amassed while y'all were together, go about your merry way. Now, if he was built up and you were there for that rise and you were there for that promotion or you were there for that rise as whatever, and you guys were in a relationship when that partner ascended to this now new level, absolutely you should get something out of that. Absolutely. Because if it wasn't for the time that you put in to the relationship to make everything work while they were going and doing what they had to do to build their brand and build their business or what have you, then it wouldn't have happened. So you definitely should get something out of it. Someone was talking the other day about prenups. I was watching something, they were talking about prenups. And they were like, you absolutely should get a prenup. I agree. Absolutely should get a prenup because a prenup is nothing but insurance. It's the insurance in case something happens, just like you get life insurance, just like you get car insurance, just like you get home insurance, all of that. The just in case ish happen. That is what a prenup is for. Just in case you love and honor and cherish and blah, blah, blah till death do you part. Yes. But in case ish happens, I got this little piece of paper here that say, you gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, and this is how we split the rest of it. The end. No muss, no fuss. Ready to act as of Christ. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Yes, babes. Yes. Hey, Terry. Those celebrity marriages are failing miserably. Yeah. Well, marriage as an institution, I think, is antiquated and needs to be revamped because marriage today, in today's time, does not mean the same kind of marriage that your parents or even your grandparents or even your great grandparents had, right? Because marriage started off as a contract, right? Your family and the husband's family got together and said, okay, you have this, we have that, let's get our kids married and then we'll bring in these different things so that they can have their life together. That's what it was. It's a contract. You give me this, I'll give you that, and they go off and have a good life. So it wasn't so much about love as it was about getting the job done, whatever it was, getting married, having children, raising the farmland or wherever you were, or getting the house that they gave you and making sure that everything worked and ran properly in the home. That's what marriage was, right? That's what marriage was. And then over the years, it started being, more about other things, right? And it started being monetary, right? Oh, I gotta have the blinged out ring, or I gotta have the big party or the big, elaborate wedding, blah, blah, blah. And less about what it takes to be married, what it takes to be in a marriage, how much sacrifice and time you have to give to that other person in order for them to be fulfilled and for them to pour into you so that you are fulfilled. So it's a different thing. And I think nowadays people glorify the whole party aspect of it and the engagement of it. And, they're looking at all of these different things. That's why you see all of these televised prom proposals. Everything is a stage. Everything is dramatic performance or production, where the day-to-day aspects of being in a marriage has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. The years I was married, I guarantee you there was no falling on the knee. Oh, my beautiful, precious woman. What have you cooked for me today for dinner? None of that was going on. I didn't get that. I didn't get that memo. Not at all. Oh, my darling. The house is so clean and so wonderful. I'm going to whisk you away to this magic tropical island because it's so fabulous. What? What? We wasn't live streaming that ish. That ain't happened. So there you go. Terry said, yeah. Jackie said, yes, Terry. And they're passing each other around like potato salad at a family. That part too. Community peen and community cat. You know. I swear the amount of revolving doors that some of these celebrities have in their dating life, I'm like, what in the world? What in the world? We're running out of time because I'm a little over, but I do want to say this. We got to do better as a people. We have to do better as a people. We have to stop romanticizing marriage because it's not romantic. It's work. It's hard work. It's a lot of hard work. And start putting that time into really getting to know someone, right? Because this can't be the first time that this man walked around with an AK-47. You had to have seen that in some point. You were, living in the house with him. Y'all were back and forth doing all these different things. You had to have seen that before then, or even had an inkling, right? So my thought was, why didn't you stop it then? Why didn't you say, hey, listen, before we get into this whole marriage thing, before we get into, us building a life together, I'm going to need to sit down with you and a counselor, and we're going to have to talk about this AK-47 business. Why do you feel the need to have that around in the house? I'm going to need to understand that. And from what I gather, allegedly, they did have a pastor that they spoke to. They did have a counselor that they spoke to. But in both cases, it did not work. Now, here's the thing. You're only married for what, 2 years? How do you know if it's not working in 2 years? It takes time for the therapy to work. You can't just say after 2 years, oh, we're going to throw up our hands. We're going to be just done with it. Because that's not how therapy works. Even if you're in therapy for yourself, that's not how therapy works. You have to do the work, do the steps, and commit to it. And it feels to me, again, because you invited me into the group chat, so I'm going to give you my opinion. It feels to me like you didn't put enough time into the marriage that you put into planning trips or planning the wedding, all of these other things that you took your time and planned over the course of 2 years. Like, you could take your time and do that. You could put the steps in and work the steps to plan this wedding, but you can't take the steps and do the work that's required to stay married. We have a problem, Houston. We have a problem. And we're going to solve it next week on Brown Girl Bella. Or at least crack that sucker open so we can dive into what is going on in relationships. So let's look and see. I like how I segue that in. That's how I do, babes. That's the Bella Costa. Hey, Ray of Sunshine. Hey, boo. These rappers are not as cool as they purport themselves to be. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mhm. I agree wholeheartedly. I agree. Hugs. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, thank you. All right, babe. So we're gonna end it here. Let's see what's up for this weekend. I've got a ton of content to edit and upload. I have 2 videos up. I put up one yesterday and I think one the day before. I also have a short that's up. Please go and watch that and support. I also, if you're on TikTok, please follow me on TikTok because I did a video for Corsex. It's a new product that I'm trying out and I actually love it. It's making my skin so bright and clear. You see that? Again, no filter, just face. Just face. And I really, really, really love it. It's like an essence almost, and it's liquidy. So I pour out a couple of pumps and I just put it all over the face. I've been using it more for my daytime, but I think when I record my nighttime, I'll show you that too, because I really, really love that product. And the nighttime routine is going to be sponsored. So my wonderful friends at Dermalec is my username on TikTok is Brown Girl Bella. Brown Girl Bella. Yep. It's Brown Girl Bella. Thank you, Musisi. So please watch that and go give it a thumbs up and comment and all that great stuff because Dermalec is looking at it and Core 6 is looking at it. So make sure that you do that. I did a video for Dermalec on these soy nail polish removers. They actually did a really, really good job. So please support that one. If you're on IG, Instagram, I need one more person for 2,275. Let's get over that because I always get a drop. So please go and check me out there, Brown Girl Bella on Instagram. And let me see. So Sunday is my anniversary. So I will have been 28 years as a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. I don't think my line sisters are doing anything, so I think I can go ahead and do the live. So I will do a live on Sunday, and then if we do something, we'll do something later. I was gonna go to the makeup show, which is in New York this weekend, and Danessa Myrex is going to be there on Sunday, but her tickets for that is like 200 and change. And I was like, 200, that's a flight to Atlanta, and I want to go to Atlanta soon. I was like, no. No. And I know she's going to give a great gift bag, and she just released some brushes. So I think she's going to maybe put the brushes in there too. I really wanted to go, but I was like, that money could be a flight to Atlanta. So I'm trying to, be more responsible. So I'm like, I can buy those brushes later. What I need to do is go ahead and book my flight to Atlanta so I can see my G baby. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have a live on Sunday. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Maybe we'll talk about Danessa because I did get the Blooming Romance palette. I've been playing with it, have some opinions. Some I already gave you in a video, so make sure you check that out. But might have some more. For the eye look today, I did use Byredo. And all the details for everything on my face will be in the description box. But Byredo came out with a new palette. I didn't use that. I used one of the older ones, but I'm thinking about getting it. So maybe I'll show it to you babes on Sunday and let me know what you think, if you think I should try it or not. And then we're going to do a live Intrigue to Try or Let It Fly with some other Instagram creators that put up some new products. So we're going to talk about some of that and more. So keep it where you got it. I love you all. Hope you have a fantastic weekend if I don't see you on Sunday. And until next time, you have now been bellified. Love you all. See you soon. Bye.